Hello, Roman Angelis, the JJ Movie Social Game Reviews, everybody. And now I want to give my original Season 3, Episode 2 review. The episode's called You Hung the Moon, and what a fantastic episode of the originals, everybody. Let me just start off. There's a lot of stuff we have to go through, so this is going to take a quite long video. So here's the thing. Lucian, Klaus the Siren Line, the guy from last episode. Basically, we learn a lot about him. One, he's very rich, like a millionaire. He's famous, a celebrity. He also has a little witch medicine basically that cures him from werewolf bites. Basically, he doesn't need Klaus's blood in case he ever gets bit by werewolves, which is very interesting. Also, we find out he's the one that's basically had the werewolves being killed in the bayou because he wants to use for land product, and he's trying to get rid of the population of the wildlife there. So it's very interesting. We'll see. I don't want to get rid of the bayou, so I want the bayou to stay around. Screw Lucian and his evil plan. But also we get some backstory with some of the other Siren Lines. The Aurora and Tristan. Basically that flashback of season 3, episode 1, the last previous episode. We found out that Tristan is part of Elijah's Siren Line, and the fact is that Aurora, vampire girl that killed that monk guy at the end of the last episode, well, basically she's not all there. She's not stable for a vampire, and her brother just locks her away and that stuff, and he's going to New Orleans to get her a little gift, which is going to be very interesting. Also, what can I say about this episode? We find Davina is splitting into two people right now. I predicted this. I knew Davina was going to have a hard time managing the witches of the French Quarter, because here's the thing. Davina is not a bad person. She's one of my favorite witches. She's my second favorite witch, right next to Bonnie Bennett, because those two characters, they are not hypocritical witches. They want to sacrifice the stuff for their people. But the thing is, though, the witches of the French court, they're all evil, in my opinion. They're all power hungry. You could say, oh, we're the balances of nature and all that stuff. They will take down anybody who gets in their way. Even if it's a little stuff. They don't care about the innocent. They don't care about their family of witches. No, if they get in their way, they're going to take them out. It's that simple. So, Davina does what anybody does. She uses Marcel's knowledge. Well, basically, hears Marcel's out, and she's fighting back with power. She uses Haley as an instrument to get back at a certain witch, and they kill the witch. Haley kills a witch, and a dozen witches because of that. And Haley's no longer, and her pack are no longer cursed with the moon and all that shit. And that's very good. But the thing is with Davina, this is a family of witches, and Haley killed 12 people for Davina. And now Davina is just like, you're probably going to use Haley to get the Klaus to get revenge. She's splitting into two different people. I love how Marcel's trying to tell her what are you doing, and basically Davina just says, well, I learned it from you. And then Marcel just says, well, I learned it from Klaus. Her revenge of trying to get revenge on Klaus is destroying her as a person and destroying her as a character, as a good person. And now she's going to probably, revenge will turn her into something else nasty, and all because Cole's not resurrected yet, and we all know he's going to be resurrected, and the Klaus killed her first love. I'm not saying Davina doesn't have a right to go against Klaus. I'm just saying, be careful how far you're willing to go to get revenge and who you are as a different person. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Davina's going to face those other factions of witches that don't like her, that kind of suspect that she has something to do with this. So it's going to be a very interesting next couple episodes with Davina. Hopefully she won't go down too far, in my opinion. I don't want her to go down too far, but you never know. And the main thing, we also had this little sighting with Freya and Klaus. Klaus was making fun of Freya's boy toy that she brought home, and you see this kind of like family bond of it. He starts to grow fond of Freya. He may not be best friends or great siblings to each other, but there is an affection towards there, and I'm glad they are starting to show some of that. It's about time Klaus shows a little bit more affection towards his family. But speaking of which, Haley got her revenge on Klaus. She beat him up, slapped him a bit, and at the end of it, she realizes that Hope's walking, and now she missed so much of Hope, and she blames Klaus for spoiling the idea of family to her, of this family with the Michelsons. And here's the thing. If y'all know my reviews, I'm not a big fan of Haley. I find Haley a hypocritical bitch. Now, here's the thing. Haley tried to take Hope away from Klaus because she didn't want Dahlia and all the other stuff of the other Michelsons family enemies to ever be with her. And ever to basically come after Hope because of the Michelsons. And she has a good point. She does, like any mother would. She wants to get her child out of an unsafe environment, which she should. But the problem is though, if she was a smart parent and she was not a hypocritical bee, she would not basically she would have just compelled two people, husband and wife, and compelled them to take away hope from Haley as well. Because here's the thing, Haley's no better than Klaus. Back in the Vampire Diaries, she got Klaus to kill 12 hybrids just so she could find out information about her family. She has created enemies as well. She killed people for her own benefit. The main difference between Haley and Klaus owns up to his evil. He owns everything. Oh yeah, I killed those people, yeah. Haley is not about owning up to everything. She just looks at people and she judges people much more. She judges people way more for anything, and I hate that Elijah always defends her. And Elijah was like this, Klaus, you started this mess, you fix it. Well, here's the thing. Haley started by taking hope away from Klaus. And people could say, yeah, like I said, it's reasonable to take away from an enemy, yeah. But she was about to take it permanently away. Like, she has a special right. Haley doesn't have no special right. She's no better than some people. She has created enemies along the past. And the fact that she even was going to take Klaus's child away from her forever, and she was okay, and she only had the right to hold on to her child. No, it's absolutely fucking bullshit in my opinion. Haley is a hypocrite in my opinion. And people say, yes, Klaus is sorry. Here's the thing: if Klaus at the end of season 2, he was working on a way to fix Haley's curse and try and bring him back, then it probably wouldn't have been that bad, the repercussions, because at least his family was seeing trying. But he didn't care because he was heartbroken that Haley broke his trust. And here's the thing: I've always looked two sides. I understand Haley's point of view. I understand Klaus's point of view. But the bright side, I had to look at this: who's being more upfront about what they did was wrong? Klaus. Who's not upfront? Haley. Haley's not upfront. She doesn't apologize to taking a child away, even though she doesn't have a right to either way. And Klaus always tries to say that he'll take a hope away, but he never did it. She's the one that did it. And in reality, she started the rift between the family. And Elijah chooses Haley because he was in love with her, and now he's love struck again. I do not like love struck Elijah. I like Haley and Jackson together. I like their chemistry together, the two actors. I think they're great. Elijah loves their puppy. Why? No. Another bright side, Freya looks like she's looking at the necklace where she has Finn in, and she might think about getting Finn out of there sooner or later. So we might see Finn again, which will be very interesting, and I can't wait to see if he comes up and how he'll interact with the family. But it only lasts like 5 seconds, but hopefully it's true. And now Haley is across the street from Klaus in the crib, and Klaus is trying to be a better person. He's trying to be basically a better monster and anything. And that was the repercussions of who is changing the most. And in some cases, who's changing for the better, and this is all about change this entire episode. Davina's changing for the worse. Haley, in some cases, she's changing for the worse just because she made a deal with Davina to slaughter one person, but she slaughtered 12 people instead. She made enemies right there, but you don't see her owning up to her deeds of what she's done. Klaus does all the time because he doesn't mind, because he will admit it no matter what. But the thing is though, also Klaus is trying to be a better person. He's not trying to, well, in the previous episode he killed a guy that mocked his art, so he's one person, not bad. But he's also trying to bring peace to New Orleans and all that stuff. And you could tell he's trying a lot more than ever he's been. Granted, could he do a better job? Hell fucking yeah. Could he apologize to Haley too? Could there be back and forth apologies? Yes, they could be. But still, Klaus is too headstrong. Haley's way too headstrong. They're not gonna kiss and make up. And there's a preview of the next episode of whether Elijah's gonna forgive Klaus. And Elijah says, when hell freezes over. Well, I say you could say when hell freezes over, not with Haley. I say you could be more sad about Gia. But Klaus, I think, was more offended with, again, Elijah because he chose another woman over him. I think the main reason why Klaus is just angry at Elijah and Haley is because, not to stabbing him, locking in a box, not for betraying his trust. Nope, it's because they were going to take the child permanently. And in that case, if Elijah was ever, let's just say if Elijah actually and the team defeated Dahlia, and she was defeated, and they left Klaus' dagger. Do you really think they would have took his dagger out of him, knowing that they left Hope go permanently? You think they would actually let him out? Debatable. I guarantee it would have been another year. I'm like serious. In some cases, no better. At least own up. The whole point to me about these characters, why I like Klaus the most and one of my favorite characters, and I'm a little bit biased, because he owns up to who he was. Just like how I like Catherine Pierce in the Vampire Diaries. She owned up to who she was. Klaus owns up to his stuff. Haley does not, in my opinion. That's the main reason why I got these issues with Haley. Also, we can learn something about the prophecy about Freya found out about it, which is true. That Draydon will fall. Elijah, Rebecca, and Klaus. One will die by friend, one by foe, and one by family. So, who knows? Klaus's friends Klaus will probably be taken out by family. Elijah will probably be taken down by foe, and Rebecca probably by a friend. But in my opinion, it's anyone's guess. I'm looking forward to the next episode of Originals. I cannot wait for the next episode. I'd really like to see how Haley's going to progress as a character, and so Davina as well. And yeah, so many interesting things. Also, Cammy had this little she's being investigated by the guy from Veronica Mars, detective, about the serial killer. So it's going to be very interesting, and they're going to probably look at Lucian to see if he's evil or not, if he's a serial killer or not. But overall, what a fantastic episode of Original. Subscribe if you like, everybody. Just screen down the bottom, leave a comment down below, let me know. And yeah, everyone, my name's Jalise, signing off, everyone. You have a good day, everybody. Bye.